Good morning, children. How are you? I hope all of you are fine. So, today this is our mathematics class, and I want to remind once more what you got in the last class. We have learned about some rules of irrational number, like how to multiply, how to divide, these things. And also we have solved exercise 1.3, 1.4, and 1.5. So 1.5 I have not solved full exercise, and I'll continue 1.5 today. Before that, I want to remind you that what are the rules of irrational number when you multiply. Then irrational number, suppose irrational number is subtracted from rational number, then the result is irrational. If irrational number added with a rational number, the result is irrational. If a irrational number multiply with rational number, the result is irrational. If a irrational number divide with rational number, the result is irrational. So all of you understood? Now today I'll continue exercise 1. Exercise 1.5, question number 3. Recall pi is defined as the ratio of the circumference, say C, so circumference is C, of a circle to its diameter, say D. Diameter is D. That pi, what is the definition of pi and what is the ratio of pi you got in your previous classes? C by D is pi. Yes or no? Yes. So here the question is like that. If circumference C and diameter is D, now as we know that we can find out the circumference, as we know that we can find out the diameters also. But if pi is equal to C by D, then C by D is P by Q format. Yes or no? So it is what? C by D is P by Q means what? Pi is rational. But we know that pi is irrational. What is the contradiction between that? That question only. This seems to contradict the fact that pi is rational. How you resolve this contradiction? Understood? This is pi. Okay. Now I repeat the question. Recall pi is defined as the ratio of the circumference, say C, of a circle to its diameter, and that is pi, and this seems to contradict the fact that pi is rational. How will you resolve this contradiction? See, when you measure the length of a line with what? When you measure length of a line, we are using either scale or ruler. Yes or no? When you measure the length of a line with a scale or with any other device, ruler or any other device, if you are using to measure the length of a line, in general we are using scale or any other device, and we only get the approximate rational value. That means here I have to say that if you are going to measure circumference or diameter with scale or any other device, we will not get the appropriate value. Sorry, I will not get the exact value. Understood? No? Circumference also will not get the exact value, and diameter also will not get the exact value. We will get an approximate value. So if C and D are approximate value we are getting, then C by D's value is what? It is not perfect. It is not exact value. That is why C and D both are what? C and D are what? Irrational. If C and D are irrational, then C by D is obviously irrational. So pi is irrational. So there is no contradiction that pi is irrational. I hope all of you understood. I repeat, if you measure the length of a line, means in for circumference or for diameter, there are lines, so you need to measure. If you measure length of a line with a scale or with any device, you will not get the exact value. You will get approximate value. Means you will get C and D, circumference and diameter are irrational. So C by D is also irrational. Understood? If c by d is irrational and c by d is equal to what? Pi. So pi is what? Irrational. So there is no contradiction, pi is irrational. All of you understood? Clear? I repeat once more because you are thinking that this is very easy. Yes, it is very easy, but there is some concept you have to know. When you measure, if I have done some mistake previously, that is why I repeat one more time that you will get you will not have any confusion. When you measure the length of a line with a scale or with any other device, we only get an approximate rational value. Before I told approximate value, yes, approximate rational value. Means C and D are approximate rational value means what? They are not rational. They are what? Irrational. That C and D are irrational. So C by D is also irrational. So hence pi is irrational. All of you understood now? Next. Represent root 9.3 on the number line. See, already we have learned how to represent root 5, root 3 on the number line. Now root 9.3. There is a terminating decimal, yes or no? See, first of all, draw a line segment AB. These are the steps, okay? Draw a line segment AB is equal to 9.3. Okay. So I am not using scale. So you use scale, okay? And draw properly. This is A and this is B. It should have how much? 9.3, okay? Then extended it to C such that BC is equal to 1 unit. Means you have to extend up to this. 1 unit means you can take 1 centimeter here. This 9.3 is 1 centimeter. Any 1 unit you have to extend here. 1 unit. See. Now find midpoint of AC and mark it as O. You have to find out the midpoint. So how to find out the midpoint, do you know? From C, if you draw an arc with the same radius, another arc. Similarly for down from A and from C, then you will draw a perpendicular bisector. This is simple, okay? It may not be correct, but you can draw like that perpendicular bisector. After drawing perpendicular bisector, suppose this is the center and this is SO. Now OAS radius, draw a semicircle. This one. You can use compass, okay? Like that compass you have to use and like that you have to draw. So I am doing directly here. The figure diagram may not be like this. Maybe it may be different, okay? You are looking that I am not using a scale or compass. This is only conception, okay? This is conception. This may not be perfect figure. This is conception, okay? I have all of you understood and you can draw it. You got the concept, then you can draw it. So now, if you draw like that, then next what? Taking semicircle. This is a semicircle. OS center and OS radius. Already I have told you. Draw BD perpendicular to AC. Actually, this is what? BD perpendicular to what? AC. Means this is how much? 90 degree. You have to draw perpendicular here. This should be what? Perpendicular. Means this one is what? 90 degree. BD is perpendicular to what? AC. Then there is some calculation I have not given here. Okay. So I will give it a direct answer that here BD is represent root 9.3. But there is a long simplification how to obtain BD is equal to root 9.3. This one not required. During the exam you can write this one only. But if you need, then message me in my WhatsApp. Then I will give it a full simplification. Otherwise you can learn like this also. If you need, you write in my WhatsApp. You message me in my WhatsApp. Okay. So draw an arc. Draw a arc taking BS center and BDS radius meeting AC produce to E. Okay. Then draw a arc taking BS center and BDS radius. This from B you have to take this one as radius. As I want to say, you have to draw an arc and taking BS center and BDS radius, this BDS radius like that, BS center, BDS radius, you have to draw an arc, and for that you have to extend it like that. Suppose this is X, then BDS radius, if you draw an arc, suppose let it intersect at what E, intersect at what E. Okay, so that is why I wrote here as radius meeting AC produce 2E. Understood this one? That means what? At last we can say that BD is equal to how much? Root 9. Understood? I repeat, BD is equal to what? Root 9.3. If you are getting confusion with the figure, I repeat. See, first you have to draw a number line. Number line means length. You have to draw AB of 9.3. Then 1 unit. So this is 1 unit C. Then midpoint you have to find out by drawing a perpendicular bisector like that. This is B. Now BD perpendicular you have to draw only to BD. Clear? Then join this one, you have to midpoint is OX, so now BD join. So this one. Okay. Now BDS radius you have to draw an arc. You have to extend it first. If you draw arc, then in intersect at what? E. Question number 5. Rationalize the denominator of the following. See here. First one is 1 by root 7 and 1 by root 7 minus root 6, and third one 1 by root 5 plus root 2, and number 4 1 by root 7 minus 2. Okay. See, you can see the denominator is what? Root 7 minus root 6. It is irrational. So you have to rationalize. it. So how to rationalize? See, first one 1 by root 7. So you can see here is single number. Yes or no? One term. So multiply by that term. In the case of one term, multiply by that term on a numerator and denominator both. Like 1 by root 7, so you have to multiply by root 7 into root 7. It is balance C. If root 7 cancel, you will get 1. Yes or no? 1 means what? 1 will multiply 1 by root 7, you will get back again 1 by root 7. So try to understand. This in case of single number, it is irrational. You have to multiply by that number with both numerator and denominator. Next, root 7 into 1, root 7 into root 7 is square. So square root cancel, what is left? 7. So root 7 by 7. Now see, denominator is what? Rational. So it is called rationalize. Now question number 4. I'll give you question number 4. Not 4 actually. This is 2. This is question number 2. Okay. So 1 by root 7 minus root 6. Now 1 by root 7 minus root 6. Now you can see there are two terms. So in case like that, either plus or minus. If now you have to see here plus or minus, it is minus. So you have to multiply by plus, like root 7 plus root 6 by root 7 minus root 6. In case single number, you have multiply by directly by that number in numerator and denominator. But in case there are two terms, if minus, then you have to make it plus, like roots. If here minus we are having, so you have to multiply by plus root 7 plus root 6, root 7 plus root 6 with both numerator and denominator. Then root 7 plus root 6 once are root 7 plus root 6. So root 7 minus root 6, root 7 plus root 6, both are multiplied like that. So you can use a square minus b square formula here. A minus b, a plus b. So what? A square root minus b square. Understood? So a square root 7 square is what? Square root cancel. What is left? 7. And root 6 square cancel. What is left? 7 minus 6. 7 minus 6 is what? 1. So 1 always a number has denominator is 1 always. So you can root 7 plus root 6 is root 7 plus root 6. So I hope all of you understood this one. It's very easy. In case of minus, you have to make it plus and multiply with numerator and denominator both. Next, laws of exponent. Okay, you got in class 8 maybe one chapter of this about exponent. So these things already you got, but I want to repeat once again these rules or laws of exponent. So in case of exponent, this one am into an, a is called base, you know, m is called exponent, yes or no? A is called base and m is called exponent. Now you see am into an, if this base are what, same, base are same but exponent are different, then you can add the exponent m plus n. In this case these are base are equal but divide, so these are minus m minus n. In case the base are different but exponent are equal, so you can write ab whole m. Now in case it is divide, this divide and this divide is same, am by bm, similarly you can write because exponents are equal, so a by b whole m. In case am, or you can say a power m, or again upon again there is one exponent n, so you can multiply both the exponents, am in a inverse, you can write what, 1 by a, or a naught, this is called 0 actually. Whenever you are getting exponent as 0 of with any number or on the top of any number, you'll get the value how much, 1. So 8 number, a or exponent x by y, exponent is x by y. In this case this y is here vertically, so actually y, then a power x. For example a 3 by 5, so 5 a cube you can write. Okay, next number 9, am whole 1 by n, this is the exponent, am again exponent 1 by n, so you can write m into 1 by n. Already I have given this one am whole n, so this is fraction but similar. Okay, I have all of you understood this exponents, this law of exponents you required to solve the problems which are given in exercise 1.6. okay, next 1.6 question number 1, find, there are 3 questions, but I'm going to give you one number and two number. What is there? 64 half and 125 is power 1 by 3. So this is very easy. See, you have to see here to the exponent, what is there, half, what is the denominator, 2. So you have to factorize 64. So 64 you have to break 64 as an exponent of 2, like 8 square you can write. So 8 square, then what is their half, so you can use this law. So 8, so now next 2 into 1 by 2, 2 to cancel, what is left, 8 1 means 8 exponent 1, what is that, 8. Second 125 1 by 3, so you have to express 5 and what is the what is the denominator of the exponent, 3, so you can write what, 5 cube, you can write or not, so you can cancel 3 into 3, what is left, 5. Next two number 1, 9 3 by 2, on question number 1 and question number 2 are similar. 9 8, so 9 you have to express as exponent of 2, like 3 square you can write, 2 into 3 by 2, 2 to cancel, 3 cube means what, 27. For number 125, but don't forget here minus 1 by 3. okay, so 5 cube minus, no problem, 125 you can write 5 cube, 5 plus minus, when you multiply 3 into minus 1 by 3, minus plus minus 3 into 1 by 3, 3 3 cancel, what is left, minus 1, so you can write 1 by 5. 3 number 1 number 2 2 by 3, this is dot, okay, multiply, this is not a point, dot. So 2 by 3, I already told you this is dot, means multiply, 2 1 by 5, exponents are 2 by 3 and 1 by 5, base are same, so 2 by 3 plus 1 by 5 you can write by using rule of exponent, law of exponent. So LCM you can take 15, then 3 5 5 2 is 10, 5 3 3 1 is 3, 3 plus 30. So I have all of you understood now. 2 by 3 plus 1 by 5, the since base are same, so you got the final answer 2 exponent 13 by 15. Next 7 1 by 2 dot 8 1 by 2. Here you can see the exponents are same but base are different, so base, if you use law of exponent here, then 7 into 8 whole half, then 7 into 56 half. So you can understand. Now homework you can see 5, number 3 and 4, exercise 1.6 1, question number 2, then question number 2 2 and 3, and question number 3 2 and 3. So I have completed the chapter 1. In the next class I will start a new chapter. Okay, thank you, God bless you.